What's up? It's your boy Ahab, and you might be noticing that not only am I wearing a tiny ass hat, but my boy is missing, man. He was supposed to do a video with me, Goontick was, and that boy was like, I'm sleepy, and I'm like, I feel like that's an alien move. You're avoiding your friends. And then he would probably drop some bomb like, you're not my friend, you're my brother. And I'm like, come on, guy. Do I have to punch you in the face to prove that I'm your friend? But anyway, whatever. The point is, he's not here. And technically, I guess I could wait to make the video. But I was already in the mood, guy. I was already in the mood to make the freaking video. And I'm like, well, now what? So I need a little pick-me-upper. Plus, we're just going to mishmash two videos together. So might as well just dedicate this to this one and see what's up. But anyway, we got some fan, or as I like to call it, fam mail from our boy Brad. We're going to do that. And might as well just get, my selections for the past few weeks that I found and or bought out of the way. That way we can, dedicate a more focused one to Goontick. And let's just get into it, guys. Some Goodwill picks. Goodwill. Always a good place to find stuff that generally you wouldn't want to pay full price for. And that was mass produced and you could totally wait for. $1 role models. I did watch this movie. I'll be honest with you, I kind of don't remember it. I watched it under duress, shall we say. But I do remember chuckling a few times, so that's a thing that happened. Plus, it's got my boy Paul Rudd and McLovin in it, and Elizabeth Banks, who I totally have a crush on. Even though she did make that Charlie's Angels movie, which was garbage. But anyway, the point is, role models, worth a revisit for $1, man. I do remember this one, and Goontick liked this one too. Monsters and Aliens. Monsters vs. Aliens. Kind of like when DreamWorks was trying to kick into the Pixar territory. A little fun little movie, man. A little kaiju action. Enjoyed it, and it's still got the 3D glasses that they didn't even use, man. Whoever bought this was like, I'm not watching that guy. But I have. Also have watched Tombstone, as have many people. This is always a Blu-ray I was hesitant to get because the transfer is notoriously underwhelming. I don't know if it's bad per se, but people love Tombstone, so they're probably like, this needs a better transfer, guy. So this ain't it apparently for them, but it was $1. I was like, I'm gonna get it. Now you might be thinking, you waited to find it for $1 to get one of the transfer aside, one of the most well-regarded westerns out there? And the answer is yes, because when it comes to the subject of Wyatt Earp, which historically I'm a fan of, douche though he was, the Wyatt Earp movie that came out that same year that Tombstone did with Kevin Costner has always been my favorite interpretation. Now when it comes to the events that Tombstone depicts, Tombstone, is a superior one. If anything, Wyatt Earp kind of like skims over those events a lot quicker than you'd expect. But I was always kind of bothered by how clean everybody's wardrobe was in Tombstone. There's a much more like a studio movie feel to Tombstone than Wyatt Earp, even though they're both studio movies. So I don't know. Val Kilmer is great as Doc Holliday, though he looks nothing like him. Kurt Russell, my boy, I love Kurt, but he's just not Wyatt Earp to me. You know what I'm saying? Kevin Costner knocked Wyatt Earp out of the ballpark in terms of portrayal. But anyway, whatever. I do like Tombstone. It is a movie that, for $1, I'm not going to leave it behind, guy. The Rookie. Now, I am not a sports fan. You might even say I'm a sports hater. But The Rookie's a pretty decent movie. And there's something about baseball movies that are good, like Bull Durham, Field of Dreams, that I'll sit through them and I'll watch them and I'll enjoy the shit out of them, even though I don't like necessarily sports or baseball for that matter. Yeah, Rookie, pretty decent as I recall, and for $1, I'm not going to turn that down. Now, Goontick has a copy of Last of the Mohicans. I really don't know why. He's not a Mohicite. And I don't know, man. It's kind of weird that he has that. It's not his type of film to own, I'm not saying he doesn't enjoy it or nothing like that, but weird. But anyway, found it for $1. Daniel Day-Lewis, Michael Mann, great adaptation. Absolutely love Last of the Mohicans. What I don't love is this stank cover. How is that Daniel Day-Jones? Day-Lewis. What is that? Why does he have chiclets for teeth? What is that musculature going on? What is that, man? And this is an old piece of art. Well, as in not in the recent years, so it looks like AI, but it's not. Grotesque. I hate it. What I don't hate, Stephen Chow's Shaolin Soccer. This is a DVD. I don't know if this is on Blu-ray. If it is, I need to get it ASAP. But if you haven't seen Stephen Chow movies, especially Shaolin Soccer or Kung Fu Hustle, you need to get on that, boy. But Shaolin Soccer was my introduction to him, and then followed that up with Kung Fu Hustle in the theater, which was awesome. But yeah, a mixture of Kung Fu and zany, almost cartoonish comedy. It's just something you have to experience. I really love Stephen Chow. I think he deserves a lot more attention than he gets, but here we are. Probably going, who the hell's that guy? Well, I'm telling you, go watch him. Maybe a student of film, Al Smith, can tell you about him, but I'm thinking maybe not. What he won't definitely tell you about is this particular series of films, the Human Centipede trilogy. This is the movie Centipede, which is how Tom Six, the director, intended to present the films, and that's as one big a cohesive piece that flows into each other. This is also fully uncut, which some people that have seen the movie probably like, why would you want even more of that? And also has the intended ending, and also includes a color version of Part 2. Now, these movies are super controversial. They're if you bring them up in any circles, you're bound to get people going, why would you watch this garbage, blah, blah, blah. Hey, look, if it's not for you, it's not for you. It's not even for me, honestly. You know what I'm saying? It's not a thing that I'm willing to watch every now and, all the time. But even though I didn't really get onto the Human Centipede boat on the first one, I was like, okay, whatever, I've always had a problem with the first third of the first Human Centipede movie. It intentionally leans into movie tropes, like the unlikable characters going down the wrong route and coming up across something horrible. It leans into that maybe a bit too much, and the actors are not amazing, or the actor says, I should say. It is intentional, I know that, but it still just kind of doesn't vibe with me. And once things do kick off, it is satisfactorily, I guess, weird and engaging, I guess, as tasteless as it is. Part 2, though, is legitimately a good horror film, and it's almost Lynchian, and almost there's like a John Waters quality to it, the kind of like depravity of it, and it does have a message. So does the first one. Maybe it's not something you realize immediately, but watching it in the movie Centipede form, by the way, does elaborate. Really bring that forward. But Part 2, like I was saying, legitimately a good horror film, even if it is quite the experience. So that's a thing that I would want for Part 2 for sure. And here we got it uncut, and we also have it presented in color, which is a thing that maybe if you've seen it, you're like, whoa, why would you want that in color? But here we go. This is the way you can get that in color. And the third one is a movie that, if even the people that like the series are like, I don't like that one. I actually kind of enjoy the third one because it's the one that's most blatantly meta and satirical in nature. Like, there's no denying the self-awareness in the third one. And it really leans into it. Really brings out what Tom Six was going for, but also goes like cartoonishly into the depraved nature of the movies. Long story short, I find something in them, and if you're a fan of extreme horror, it's kind of like a requisite to own them. Now, that being said, I got this boy, and you can only get this when it was first released. You could only get it through Tom Six's website, and obviously it became more available throughout. But it's largely it's out of print, and it's largely available only through secondary sources. I did find some on Amazon UK, which is an Amazon branch. They sent it over in a freaking paper envelope. So a steelbook, which is the only way this thing is available. If it was available else, or in another form, I would have gotten it in another form. But it's the only way it's available. You can kind of see in the reflection there how bent it is. Let me see if I can get it. There you go. You'll see if see. And this is after I've fixed it. I swear this came in almost like a V shape. And I was incensed, man. I was incensed. How dare you, Amazon? You freaking make millions and billions even of bucks. And you can't spare a freaking cardboard box, a tiny one. They make them. Put in a freaking box, man. It's coming across this freaking sea. Man, or the ocean even. I hate that. So it came, thankfully the discs were intact and I demanded a freaking refund. And I was like, I'm not sending it back. I'm keeping it. And you're paying me my fucking money back. Which thankfully they did because, what was her name? Hanjiba, I think her name was. Clearly doesn't give a shit. Is overworked and getting paid peanuts. She's like, yeah, I got you, bro. Your money back and you can keep it. Anyway, whatever. Rant over. Not a rant for this though, unless you count a rave review as a rant. Love Asylum. This is an Amicus anthology. Ah, man, do I love Amicus anthologies. They never made a bad one. Even their worst ones are highly enjoyable. And I wouldn't even use the word worst, but compared to the best ones, you know, obviously somebody's going to be at the bottom. But even the worst ones are great, man. And, you know, we got Peter Cushing in this, Herbert Lom, Patrick McGee, great names in the genre. This one was written by Robert Bloch, who, of course, wrote Psycho, famously. And has a very, you know, Tales from the Crypt, Twilight Zone-y feel to it, which I absolutely love. Love Asylum. Weird little flick. The sadness. This is definitely a grueling experience, man. I mean, I'm talking like, don't watch this if you're not a seasoned horror fan. Let me just say that, you know. And I mean, it's not in the same vein of extreme as something like Human Centipede. That's kind of like a more depraved, weird thing. That's like intensity. Like, yeah, I mean, if you're a horror fan, just watch it. If you're not, don't probably. But anyway, that's oh yeah. I also found this cool little plushie. I was hoping my boy Doc at Doc's Unique Collectibles was gonna have it, but didn't. But I did find it elsewhere, so I had to pick that up for my little Harley collection. But all that aside, let's get to what we're here for. And that's our boy Brad sent him some more stuff. 2 boxes this go round. Let's get into it, man. We'll start with the big one here. See what's up. Might have to cut forward if I get stuck in opening it. But maybe not. Let me see. I had a box cutter set aside and everything. I can't find it, so that's cool. There we go. And yes, you know, of course, I wanted Gunter to be here, and yes, it could have waited, but like I said, man, I was pumped up to make a freaking video, and that boy Al Smith on me, man. Like, come on, man, what if I died overnight? Anyway, that's probably in poor taste, but whatever. Let's see what we got here. Out the gate, we got a bag, a McDonald's bag, so that's cool. But that's, he clearly sent this for Guntik. And Guntik, being a collector of cute, weird stuffed animals and Beanie Babies, is gonna love this freaking little sheep guy. Look at that little sheep guy. He's kind of cute, man. Actually, he's obscenely cute, especially when he's mad flat. Yeah, Guntik's gonna love that. Good eye on that one, Brad. We got The Death of Superman, which I believe is like the only comic Al has read. You know, in the 90s, the comic industry kind of went through a slump, but this kind of revitalized comics for a while, man. And it is a pretty damn good little tale there, okay? Of course, Superman wasn't going to stay dead, but it was nice to pretend that he was. Well, maybe not nice, but you know what I mean. You know, yeah. Great. Death of Superman. Fantastic. I was gonna put it over here, but I have to move this little boy right here, guy. Look at this. One of the prides of my collection. Signed Phantasm #1 comic. Signed by Reggie Bannister and director Don Coscarelli. Love it. Had to take it down because I had it up on the wall and I was like, you know what? I'm kind of afraid that it's going to get damaged up there. So I took it down. But anyway, let's see what we got here, guy. We have nobody. Cool. Goontic already has a copy of this, so you know where this one's gonna go, boy. We did do a review for this, and I don't know what happened, man. I gotta look through the files, because we didn't throw it away, that's for sure. Awesome movie, great if you haven't seen it. Hopefully I can find the review and put it up, but, you know, I don't know, man. Just a real cool... Who doesn't like a good revenge, you know, guy down in his luck, beating the system story? You know, the action is fantastic. I mean, you can't lose with this one, man. You got my boy Christopher Lloyd being old and cool in it. Yeah, you know. Bob Odenkirk, of course. Come on. Don't even have to blow his nuts because he's great. Oh, Goontic's been meaning to want to see this. That's right, been weaning. Weaning? You know what I mean, damn it. Rocket Man, you know. Goontic's kind of a little Elton John guy. I don't think he wants to admit that. Well, maybe he does now, but he's a little Elton guy. So Rocket Man, heard good things about this. And, you know, I don't know, was this a success financially or not? I don't know, man. Whoa, it's come with a little booklet and everything? I'm going to assume that Goontic's going to be like, I got to have that one. But if he's not, well, then he's being a hypocrite, because... What was that sound, man? Because he clearly loves Elton John in various salacious ways, I might suggest. So, that's freaking cool, man. Thanks a lot for that, Brad. Next up, we got... Also, Goontic kept the other Extreme Ghostbusters last time. So, I guess I'll keep this one. We'll see what we got. It was, this is disc 1, 2. What's going on here, man? I'm confused by this. So, we got Extreme Ghostbusters, the complete series on Blu-ray. It seems to be a bootleg. I will say that the disc numbering is confusing the crap out of me. We got a missing disc. We got disc 2, right? Disc 2, and what seems to be disc 1 and or 4. But anyway, either way, I'm not going to owl it up and be like, why is that happening? Why is there 2 disc 2? I'm freaking grateful we have 1 disc in there, okay? Let's see, next up we got a Boneyard. Haven't heard of this movie. We got Mel Gibson in there, 50 Cent, and Brian Holt. Seems to be some sort of like a kind of cop thriller. So we'll check that out. See what's up with that. Old Boneyard. Cop Shop with Gerard Butler and Frank Grillo. Did hear about this one, but you know that it existed. Not like any positive or negative reviews, but we'll check it out. Frank Grillo in a movie that made more than a few cents. If you don't know, well, and look it up. Let's just say he was in the movie that he had to pay for a ticket for it to even make money. He got grilloed, if you will. Yeah. Oh my God, Brad, you wonderful bastard. This has been in my shopping cart for a while because I love this movie. I'm pretty sure we did put up the review to this one. Alone in the Dark. Man, I love this movie, man. This was, I believe, the only movie that Robert Shea, who ran New Line Cinema for a good while, was like involved in the creative process of. And it's got my boy freaking Loomis himself, Sam Loomis himself. That's right, apparently Sam Loomis, Donald Pleasance, playing what's got to be the worst psychologist on the planet. And yeah, just a great cast. Jack Palance, Martin Landau. Ah, man, check out our review of it. I love Alone in the Dark. Man, Brad, you made my heart skip a beat. I feel like that was so when your heart skips a beat, that sounds like a more romantic type of thing. So maybe not that, but man, yeah, awesome. This movie, The Informer, looks like it has got Andrew Tate in it, but thankfully not. I think that's common. We got a Clive Owen in it. Some chick that I can't really tell who she is. And this muscly guy over here. Who is that guy? I don't know, but the back... Oh, is it Joel Kinnaman? I guess so, huh? Anyway, The Informer seems to be some sort of like action thriller type. Haven't heard of this and or seen it, which seems a pretty common thing with movies with Common in it. That guy has tried really hard to get his career going, and it seems to not be working out for the guy. There's been some good ones, but oh man, I'm gonna give this one to Guntik because he has like 10,000 copies of this. It seems that he forgot that he bought one, and every time he saw it, he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get that." And he has like now, as a result of that, like 7 zillion copies of Mastermind. A movie he hasn't seen, I haven't either, and that did get critically derided, but it was from the guy that made Napoleon Dynamite. So which is the reason he bought it. He's like, well, I'm gonna give it a chance, you know. I'm not gonna do the owl thing and believe critics and or the bandwagon, but he never gave it a chance. Now he has 1,000 of them, 1,001. So that's cool. I'm taking these out just so I don't have to dig constantly through this. Let's see. Let's start with this one. Final score. Dave Bautista, Ray Stevenson, which unfortunately passed away recently. He was such a good Punisher, man. You know, just like physically, he had the presence, the feel of Punisher. Bautista, of course, has turned out to be kind of a cool little guy, man. You know, although all this, he recently lost a lot of muscle mass, and I gotta say, I mean, I respect that he's trying to be like, yo, I'm just trying to be a serious actor. That's cool, bro. But you look hella weird, guy. You know what I'm saying? Just get the muscle back on, guy. Pierce Brosnan, which admittedly, I was not on the Brosnan train for a long time, but I've seen a lot of pretty good performances from him recently that, you know, maybe like Pierce quite a bit. I haven't heard of this one, but you got me at these 3 guys on screen, you know, hopefully it's good. Next, we got a double feature. We have the original Hills Have Eyes and its sequel, which is god-awful, by the way, but it's kind of like the god-awful, which I'm gonna try to be fair to it. Some people like it, but I am not on that train. But like I said, it's kind of like the god-awful that you kind of gotta like at least own in some respect. The original, of course, is a classic, you know, grindhouse style Wes Craven flick. I am one of the people that is in the camp that the remake is way better than the original. You know, I know Joey, you know, one of our viewers and friends, is not gonna dig that, but I think the remake is superior. But I do love the original, and I don't have a copy of it, so that's cool. Very cool. We have next Body Brokers, another Frank Grillo movie. Man, Frank be showing up all over the place, guy. He's the only person I recognize on this cover. And now, we gotta admit one thing. This is not a great cover. Unless you are a super Frank Grillo fan, in which case, fantastic. But Body Brokers, again, seems to be kind of like a action thriller. This is the true and untold story of a multi-billion-dollar drug and alcohol treatment fraud where former drug addicts and dealers became millionaires overnight as body brokers, starring Frank Grillo. Let's check that out, man. Next up, we got our boy Keanu. Who on this world is not like, that's not my boy? Point me to them so I can punch them. Keanu in Siberia. Tagline: a dangerous land breeds a dangerous man. Haven't heard of this, man. It's always kind of weird to see a movie that, you know, came out fairly recently, 2018, and it has a star that, you know, is not in a low point in his career. You're kind of like, what the hell? This movie came out? Okay. Siberia. I haven't heard of it, but we'll definitely see what's up. Oh yeah, you know what up with this, boy. Trish and Lita, WWE, a disc set there. So we're gonna get some matches in here, you know, some little storylines highlighted and stuff, some behind the scenes. Now, you know, these girls had large followings during the height of their careers. I'm gonna say I'm a Lita guy all the way. No hate on Trish, obviously, but you know, Lita was my girl, gang. Even when she betrayed my boy, Matt Hardy. Who does that? Anyway, that was box 1. Super awesome selections. We got box 2 here. Let's me open it up is what I was gonna say, and did. So So let's see what's up here. Eh. Damn you. Okay, clearly needed that box cutter that I lost. Because that one is well taped. Which, you know, maybe Brad wants to work at Amazon so they don't fuck up the damn deliveries, man. And speaking of deliveries, on top of this heap is Deliver Us. This is a movie that I saw, and I love religious horror. Now, not everybody's going to hop on this one, but I really like this one. Now, it's not perfect. You know, it's not 100%. But, yeah, there was definitely an atmosphere to it, and I thought it was pretty damn good, man. Kind of like, you know, end of the world, Antichrist rising type of tale with a twist. Really enjoyed this. It is only available on DVD, if I remember correctly, in the U.S. So, man, once again, Brad, you are a godsend. Ironic, given that that movie is about the Antichrist. But anyway, here we got Hobbs and Shaw. I've been meaning to watch this. Now, you know, the Fast and Furious movies, we all know what's up. They're not amazing. They do have their fans. I'm not hating on people being a fan of it or whatever. I must admit that I kind of wanted to see this because it looked uber ridiculous. So now I can. And I think Guntik has even expressed interest in this. So it goes to show you that. But it looked ridiculously dumb and fun. So we'll see about that. Next up, we got a Marky Mark movie. Guntik's going to be like, why? Old Marky Mark and Mile 22. Was this the one with Ronda Rousey in it? Yep, sure was. Here's the thing, guy. This is a Peter Berg movie also, which I really do enjoy the way he shoots movies. It doesn't always work for the material he's making, but for some of them, Deepwater Horizon, for example, which also stars Marky Mark, just the way he shoots them, there's kind of like a weird, like immersive faux realism, if that makes any sense. You know, you clearly real life doesn't look like that, but the way he's shooting them gives you the impression of like kind of like a fast-paced documentary feel, right? But anyway, I don't know if that's going to be the case here, but with Deepwater Horizon, absolutely love that movie. Kind of like a drop you into a real scenario type of flick. But here's a Mile 22, an action thriller that has Ronda Rousey in it, and let me tell you, boy, I love Ronda. I know she's a controversial, divisive figure. But boy, howdy, she can't act for shit. You know what I'm saying? She is god-awful as an actor. Worse than Gina Carano. And Gina Carano is a pretty bad actress. You know, back before she didn't sound like an absolute moron, I was rooting for Gina to you know, cross over into cinema. And she did. And it wasn't good, you know, because she's just such a poor actress. You know, so there's that. Now, sometimes it works, you know, like in Deadpool 2. Or was it Deadpool 1? Shit, I don't remember which one she was in. The Deadpool one she was in. It works, but, yeah. You know. Well, with Rhonda, it's just never worked, man. She's just so bad. So maybe this is the one where it kind of works. But we'll check that out. See what's up. Hopefully it's cool. All I know is Marky Mark's in it. And Rhonda. Here we go. I know this is Brad's favorite Ghostbusters movie, as he revealed to me. This is the classic flipper disc. I used to have this, you know, just memories there. But anyway, that's his favorite because I believe, like Al, that's the first one he saw in the theater. I don't know. Well, Al claims he saw the first one straight out the womb, so never mind. But the point is, I get that. I of course, I know I've always played it like I hate Part 2, but it's just an inferior movie in my opinion. But do love it. The dynamic with these guys is just that's the saving grace for me. You know, I do think it has one of the weakest third acts of all time, weaker than Frozen Empire. Fight me, Al. I don't give a crap. But anyway, Ghostbusters 2 classic disc edition to have. Next, we got Desperate Measures. Is this the one with? Yeah, sure is, with Michael Keaton. I remember wanting to see this back in the day. Don't really know why, because I hate Andy Garcia. And I don't know why I hate Andy Garcia. He never struck me as somebody of interest in terms of his career. But anyway, Desperate Measures. Let me see. about a thriller about a cop forced to protect a vicious killer. Yeah, I don't know. Point is, I remember wanting to watch it because of Michael Keaton, which, of course, is the reason Guntik will probably hate it, because he low-key hates Michael Keaton. Next up, we got Ghostbusters, boy. That's right, Ghostbusters, the OG. Again, that OG disc. This one not flipper, by the way. Classic. You know what sucks? My copy of Ghostbusters 1 in the Blu-ray has this effect, this fucking defect, that once they get to the apartment with Dana and Lewis, in their Zool and Key and Vince Clortho forms, it just starts artifacting. And the weird part is, it did it with Guntik's disc in the exact same location. I was like, what the hell? So I checked mine, and it did it in the exact same location. So I was like, is this a defect that somehow people have totally ignored all this time? I don't know, but the point is, I guess I need a new copy, but there you go. Boom. Oh, man. And finally, who doesn't love Indiana Jones, guy? Indiana Jones. Oh, you know what's great about this? It doesn't include... Oh, it does include... Damn it. I was going to say it doesn't include Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but it does. But hey, can't win them all, right? But anyway, I have the DVD still. Been meaning to get the upgrade to Blu-ray. And old Brad just came in and saved the day, man. Indiana Jones, one of the classic series of all time. You know, a Raiders, flawless adventure film. Temple of Doom, I know a lot of people hated that, but I grew up with Temple of Doom. And maybe that's a bias on my behalf, but I absolutely love Temple of Doom, man. I don't give a crap what anyone says. Last Crusade, come on, guy. Should have probably stayed that way in a lot of people's opinion, and I'd be, want to agree. But the reason for me that it should have probably stayed that way was Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. What a turd fest, man. What a turd fest. There are elements in it that I enjoy, but the elements that I loathe are so overwhelming that I want to kill Al Smith. I don't know why, but I do. It's got a bonus disc. Now, you're probably wondering, and then if you've seen the video, you know. I actually really enjoyed the new one. I think it's a great addition. I know some people are going to loathe me for that, but I don't give a fuck, guy. I mean, I'm not forcing you to like it. So, I did enjoy the fourth one, so I need to get that still. But, Brad, what a guy, man. What a guy. And that's it, guys. What can you say? Once again, Brad just dropping them hits, baby, and a lot of Frank Grillo, admittedly. And so, yeah. Guntik's going to go through that, see what he picks out. You already know I'm going to be keeping this Indiana Jones because, Guntik. He even gave me the Indiana Jones DVDs he had. What is that? Betraying Indy? He has a copy of these, so, plus my aforementioned Ghostbusters 1 issue. Come on, what is that? And we're going to see all these movies that... we haven't, seen. For example, these. See what's up. He already's got this, so I'm going to keep that. Definitely keeping this. Awesome that came in. I don't know who's he going to pick, Trish or Lita. So anyway, we'll go through them and see what's up. Once again, thank you, Brad. Thank you all for watching. In the meantime, I'm out.